Hello friends, today I want to discuss value. To illustrate value, imagine food. Whenever you're hungry, the value of food increases for you. The same goes with people who live in utter destitution as compared to those in affluent societies. So food for them doesn't have that much value. So they're going to go to Publix or to Tesco or to other supermarkets to buy cheap food. And the other example of value is a piano. When I was a kid, a piano was of a high value to people. That's why many citizens of the Soviet Union thought that the possession of a piano gives them a lot of value and somehow rises their value in front of the others. Well, today the value is piano even with minus, I think. If you got an old piano at home, your children have already fled your home, so probably the value of this piano is negative for you. You're even ready to pay just to clear the space, or for example, your flat is going to be divided because of the divorce. The other thing I'm going to use to discuss value today is books. Well, imagine that you're in medieval Germany, where all these masterpieces are being written. These masterpieces will be translated into all languages of the world and later be included in the World Heritage. Every educated member of the community is going to read Faust by Goethe, but not during the times of Nazi Germany. The value of such books would fall dramatically. They're going to be burnt. And I would say that it would be not just a negative value, but a huge risk to possess such literature. So you see, at one point in time, value goes up. At the other point in time, value goes down. Another thing is that, again, from the Soviet times, because, well, I was born in late Soviet Union period, and it was not a very good time, and I remember this strange fad of books, because books were not available. Somehow people tried to chase them, so they would buy some very strange detective stories and whatever the books were available. The postulates were quite weird. Some of the world literary heritage books were available, while the others were banned by propaganda. So by the early 1990s, such books as Casino Royale and other detective stories were of huge value. But today, well, you tell me, which books do you buy? As for me, I'm kind of obsessed about books. And especially it goes for the books for exam preparation. Partly it can be justified because it's my job, and for years I didn't have this opportunity to put my hands on such books. They were not available, but today You can buy them from a number of online stores. They can even be delivered to your home. One of the examples of a book I bought that was rather fruitful for my professional life was TOEFL, the fourth edition of Cambridge preparation. And I paid over $100 for this book here in Belarus. And of course it was at a book fair, and it wasn't a good choice. Well, I came to realize it afterwards, but at that time I was motivated by that book. I thought that this book will explain a lot of things to me. I will improve my student scores, and I will get my hands on the first-hand knowledge. Well, from this perspective, yes, I was right. I achieved all these goals, but did I have to pay $100 for this book? Well, I don't know. It was my favorite book for TOEFL preparation for many years, but a couple of days back, I just given this book to a student, and I didn't take money. I was happy to just give it away, and it was not a negative value. On the contrary, I was happy that this book is going to help my students achieve your goals. This student is a teacher herself, and I'm sure she's going to use this book, and it will bear fruit both for herself and for her students. A couple of days back, I was offered to buy the same book of Cambridge preparation, the fourth edition, and the cost was like $15 or so. I didn't really need this book anymore, I mean in print, because come on, by now I've learned it almost by heart. So I asked for a discount. I said, oh no, $15 is too much. So give me a discount, then I'm going to take this book. But the person didn't sell it to me, and she said, oh no, for this money I will keep it. Okay, so it was probably not also the easiest choice for her. And another story I want to tell you about books is oh, by the way, there are a couple of books. And this one, the Book of Majors, I took from a student several years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, who at that time had just entered Washington University, and he was so happy. However, he continued studying with me after passing his SAT exam, and because he wanted to better prepare for his American studies, and he decided that, like, okay, I can give you old books such as the Book of Majors 2009, which were bought by his brother, because his elder brother was the first brother in the family who entered an American university. So it was like the books from the very beginning, you know. So I was happy to take more than 12 books, including on the college choice and on SAT maths, although I do not prepare for SAT math because mathematics is just not my subject. I'm just an English teacher. But these books were motivating me, and they vividly showed that actually both brothers entered the same university. They both received full scholarships, and it's very good energy. They worked very diligently to achieve it. And these books gave me this positive energy to transfer to my new students. So that, with this in mind, I kept these books. However, 2 years back, SAT got changed, the whole format, so I had to buy new ones. As a result, now I got a lot of old SAT books. Okay. So what is... let me discuss the value of the other book. Here I have verbal and analytical reasoning. I bought it in India in 2016 when I went, I think in November, when I went to attend my friend's wedding. And of course I could not just pass on this opportunity I could not skip this opportunity to discover books on analytical reasoning which are Indian, because India is a huge country and they issue books not like 1,000, 2,000, like millions of items. So they also save on paper, so the paper cannot be of the best quality. This book cost me $5. I'm not joking, $5. And the volume was more than of that TOEFL book. That TOEFL book used a better paper, better quality print, and it was of the Western author, printed somewhere, I don't know, in London or New York. This one I bought in Allahabad, and seriously, it cost me $5. What are the other factors that create value for us? The major factor is not just money, but also time. For example, when you buy one book to prepare for exam, then it is extremely valuable for you. Hey Manish Kachi, how are you doing? Well, if you are buying this book, probably you're not going to buy this book after the exam, because the value for you will dramatically go down. So you're going to get rid of this book. You will sell it, or you will just give it to someone. The other point worth considering is emotions. For example, if SAT preparation was a painful experience for me, well, it wasn't. It's quite enjoyable. Then probably these memories are connected with this book, and I would probably get rid of it very soon, just throw it away. So emotions include expectations. If we buy this book to prepare for the exam, to enter university abroad, and to significantly improve our life and standard of living overall. But after the exam, what is this book? This book is a memory, or a bundle of memories. And if these memories are positive, connected with good people, so then you're never gonna sell it. You will keep it forever. And if it is positive, you're never gonna lose it. But if it is negative, you're gonna say goodbye to it very quickly. Apart from value, I want to discuss reading that we do nowadays. Well, I think the first and foremost function of reading at this day and age is to show off, to again show our status. One way we do that is by having a book that is beautiful, that has a fashionable name on it, and we feel better. So we can take a picture, post it on social networks, and be very cool for our friends. The other thing is anxiety. Many people are not calm. Not everyone meditates. So for that reason, people prefer to have something in their hands they continuously touch. And for example, with me, it also not just anxiety, but it's like a feeling of guilt. When I travel, I take a couple of books with me, and by the time I arrive to the other location, to my destination, I find that I never even started the book, because the process was so cool. I was making videos, pictures, I was reading something quick like Facebook, because at every airport nowadays you get Wi-Fi. It's like you get it everywhere basically, and you don't get to read those books because you just don't get to focus as much. Well, the idealist idealist picture of reading today is that you're kind of a good person, so you feel well, like, oh, like I read a lot, so you kind of people see you as a positive person. Well, I think it's again like huge fad, because most people are busy. We work from 1 until, like, some people start early in the morning, finish late at night. They cannot focus on reading big books. Still, books do not get smaller, because, well, you gotta prepare for exams, or if it is some fascinating novel, the writers are paid based on the number of pages. It's probably one of the reasons as well. The other thing about reading is that I don't think I read for leisure. It's kind of mixed. I read for work, but if it's not interesting, if it doesn't fascinate me, so I'm not gonna read. I'm gonna okay, whatever. So it's kind of mixed. It's both leisure and work. It's more specialist, and I find it all right. I'm happy with it, although I have long lists of books to read. One of them I inherited from 2018, the other I inherited from the previous year. I still have this list of books to read, but nowadays I consciously decide not to read a lot of books, but to read some of the old ones and to read some of the meaningful ones. Like today, I'm reading mostly on language assessment to improve my teaching and theoretical skills, to be able to more consciously help my students. When preparing for exams, we work with two types of reading. One is reading for general information. By reading for general information, we learn how to summarize, how to find the main idea quickly. On the contrary, by reading for specific detail, we scan huge text to understand the specific word, to understand the meaning in the context. And these are the two types. We use these types of reading in both preparation for English tests and aptitude tests, like, for example, SAT. By the way, if you noticed, I got 2 SAT books. It's the official study guide by College Board. So if you need one, or you know somebody who needs one, you can always text me. Thank you for watching, for listening. It's so great that you are watching, really. Cheerio.